Good morning. Hello, hello. So I need to complain again about the decor. I still have guests. I still sleep in my office. That's it. There's nothing I can do about it. It's gonna take a few days. So let's get back to our repair. I'm working today on an HP 15S laptop. Yeah, it's a very nice laptop, I think. It's a Core i7 10 Gen with Iris Plus graphics. Yeah, so I'm not sure exactly what the problem is with this laptop, and for that, let's try to power it on. I'm gonna set the power supply. You can see it right in the left corner where it says 19.999, and with the blue pin, let's connect the supply. This is not the correct pin. 1 second. 1 second. Let me find. Why did I take that huge pin? I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna use this one. I think this is the correct one. Good. So connected, we see 10 milliamps jumping to 100 milliamps. And now it seems that the laptop is charging. I do get a charging light. The laptop doesn't seem to be on or something like that. Then let's press the power button. We see the charging current stopped. And I think that's the booting thingy. And I see a light here. See? On the caps lock. 1, 2, 3. What's wrong with this camera? Okay, I'm gonna keep my hand here. 1, 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. So we have a 3, 2, 3 long and 1 short. Good. Oh, this is driving me crazy. I'm gonna pause the video for a second. And I'm gonna be right back once I find the error codes. Okay, so my camera doesn't like to focus. I don't know why. It seems that the 3.2 is actually a memory code. So I removed the back cover and let me remove the battery. So this is coming from a different repair shop. They should have noticed this. I'm not expecting this to be actually the problem. Yeah, I'm gonna remove the battery. Okay, and let's see the memory slots. This is an 8 gig and another 8 gig. Okay, so I'm gonna take this one and we'll put it here. I'm not in the mood of searching my box of stuff for new memory modules. Well, new old ones. Let's see how it behaves now. If we can ever set an image. Yeah, I'm gonna keep my hand. It appears that it wants to actually focus on my hand. I'm gonna turn it on. So battery is removed. Whatever consumption we see now is straight from the laptop. Okay, I don't like that current being constant. It doesn't seem like anything happening. We don't get the memory error codes. Yeah, so I think they said that this machine was actually coming on with no picture. We do not have any picture indeed. Nothing. And the current is so fixed. I keep hearing the fan. Now let me turn it over. I have the fan spinning. Let's measure some voltages around and see what do we get. There's a bit of a mess on my desk because of the whole move thingy and living here. Can I get these probes over here somehow? Maybe like this. Help me understand what is going on here. So on this coil we have 5 volt. Probably this is 3.3. No, this is 1.2. Good. What else do we have here? Another coil here. This is 3.3. These are phases. That's quite high. 1.6 on the CPU. Interesting. It's not very hot. The temperature is normal. And on this coil here we have nothing because I think that's for the charging circuit. So the board is quite easy to understand. It's very simple, nothing out of the ordinary. We have the input circuit here. Yeah, so why don't we have a picture? Who can tell us? Because apparently everything is good. I have a few fuses here around the display connector. Let's see what we have here. We have 19 on this side, 19 on this side. I have another fuse here. We have the 3.3. Good. And I have another fuse over here. It's also 3.3. So, or it's not. Yeah, it is. Let me see if maybe there's like a backlight issue. I'm not sure exactly where are the pins. So this is 3.3. Let's see the other end. Yeah, we have 19. So definitely not a display backlight issue. We have a light here, but we have absolutely no image at all. Do we have a BIOS battery? We don't have a BIOS battery on this one. At least I can't see one. I think these are the cables for the speakers. Yeah, nothing much here. So one more thing I want to do is remove the NAND. Okay. These are the battery screws. Let me put them here so I don't lose it. And let's try to power it on again. It's interesting that it's not starting by itself. Yeah, but what can we do? Let's look again. So the current we have is good. We have 10 milliamps, 6. I'm gonna press the power button and it jumps 200, 700. Camera is very bad focusing on this. I see absolutely nothing on the screen. So because we have everything connected, I would rather suspect a BIOS issue. What do you say? Should we see if the chip select is going down on the BIOS? Let me find the BIOS. I don't know if it's on this side or the other. Let me find the BIOS and be right back. Yeah, so I think I found the BIOS. I think it's this one here. I only think. I'm not very good with this standard laptops, but let's see. So we should have like 8 volts here. Oh, sorry, 3.3. That's the power, yeah, on the 8 pin, good. And we have chip select should be number 1, and it's pulled up and it's pulled down, meaning that I think this works, but we can see it better on the oscilloscope. So let me grab it and have a look at how it looks. Yes, so we have the oscilloscope on the screen. So why? I'm not being very interesting because I'm using the oscilloscope, but my goal is to find out if the CPU is actually alive and trying to communicate with the BIOS or not. So if you have the tools, you can actually use them for your benefit. So first thing first, we're gonna use the chip select pin. So the chip select pin should be brought down if there is any kind of communication on the line, on the BIOS, sorry. So when communication exists, the chip select will go down, otherwise it will be constantly up. If it's constantly up, it means that the CPU is not working and not trying to query the BIOS. Now I wanted to do something, but I don't remember what. Yes, sorry. So let's put this in roll mode. I'm gonna set it to 200 milliseconds. Yeah, 200 milliseconds per second. Now it's in roll mode. Also we can see there it says waveform view roll. Good. I'm gonna probe the chip select pin, and now I'm gonna power on. Well, I connected the power, see? So it already did something. If I power on the laptop, yeah, chip select goes up, and you see it goes down while it's being communicated on. Good. So I think this tells us that there is communication over there. Let's see if we can see it maybe better. Yeah, we have a lot of it. Let me grab a single shot and let's see how it looks. Let's try another single shot. Yeah, so it comes down, it goes up, it comes down, and then we have the communication going on the other pins. We know that looking at the chip select, we know that this is actually working and the BIOS is being queried, see? Even if I only press the power button short, yeah, we can see that there are communication going on. Good. So that tells me, makes me believe that we actually have a problem with the BIOS on this computer. So I'm gonna pause the video for now and I'm gonna try to see if I can find the BIOS for this board, right? And once I find it, we're gonna go ahead and write a new BIOS on it. Okay, so I admit that I'm totally suck at this BIOS thingy. I'm gonna try to read it and then post it on Sorin's Discord and see if that farmer or somebody will be able to help me. I've desoldered the BIOS chip because I couldn't use this contraption here. Yeah, for some reason. If I connect that, it says programmer not detected, but the programmer works because I tried it with a different one. Yeah, so like this, it sees the chip. I don't know if somebody can tell me why this doesn't work. Once I connect this, it says programmer not detected. Crap. Okay, so now I'm gonna read this. It detected it fine. I started the read. It's gonna take like half a week to read it because my programmer is very slow. And once I have it read twice, I'm gonna compare them. Then I'm gonna put the image and the proper request on Sorin's Discord page, and I hope somebody will help me with a BIOS fix or something for this one. So I'm gonna stop the recording for now, and I'm gonna come back once I have a proper BIOS. Yeah, so I've saved the two. I read it twice, and I've saved them here. Let me remove the programmer. We can check with webindiv if there are differences between the files. Yeah, so we just want to know that if it's if we have any error during the read. So it looks fine. They seem okay. Now another thing, I would like to see if somebody tried to rewrite this BIOS, and for that I'm gonna open ghex. 1 second. Yeah, so we have ghex here. I'm gonna open one of the files, and I'm gonna look on the case. I want to see the serial number, so we should find this is something like 5CD9443LC0. 5CD. Let's look for this and see if it finds something. Yeah, so it finds here 5CD9443LC0. Yeah, this is good. Okay, so that's it for now. Because I suck at it, I'm gonna put a proper request on the Discord channel of Sorin, and hopefully somebody will help me with a new BIOS for this one, and copying the serial number, cleaning the ME region, and whatever it needs to be done. So I'm gonna be right back when I have the proper BIOS file. Okay, so I received a couple of BIOS files from somebody from Discord. It's really incredible the work that they do. Trust me, so this is really impressive because it's not a paid thing, so they do this on their own spare time, and I really appreciate their effort. I didn't even have to wait too long, and I've already received a couple of BIOS files to try. In the meantime, a friend of mine also sent me one, but it's not repaired, so the ones that I received from Discord, I think they have fixed them. So let's try to install the BIOS chip back. Let me see. I'm gonna try to solder it. There's already some low melt there. It's a bit too much solder, to be honest. Okay, now let's see. Pin 1 should be like this, right? I don't wanna heat up the whole board. Yeah, I think let's do it differently. I'm gonna wick that so I can freely solder it back and also look good. So I'm gonna leave one pin with solder, and the rest I'm going to wick like this. Yeah, and now I should be able to solder this back. Maybe with the tweezers is easier. Extraordinary. Okay. That's weird. Good, let me add some solder. So we do this properly. It's a bit too much, but it's good. It's not the factory look I was searching for, but this should be okay. Let me clean it just a tiny bit. I think it's fine. Okay, now let's go back here and see if something has changed. I'll put this back and get the laptop over here. Why is this staying like this? Who knows? I don't know. Good, let me power on the supply. You can see it here in the middle. And let's see what's going on now. I need a memory module. Okay. Power supply connected. We have 10 milliamps. No signs of life. I'm gonna press the power button. It's weird that it goes like this directly to 600 milliamps. And it stays there a constant rate. Also we have no picture. And no caps lock activity. It went back to 580, so it's the same symptom. That is no bueno. What were the voltages? I remember they were high, right? On the CPU. Well, that felt high for me. So let's see. 1.8. 1.6. 1.6. 1.8 is probably the PCH, and the other are two core lines. Yeah, so definitely CPU is up, but I should have caps lock, which is not doing anything. I didn't test the HDMI output, but having that constant rate, I don't think it's a good sign. I'm gonna keep the CPU a bit pressed. Let's see if something changes. Well, obviously my camera changed. It's not focusing anymore. Yeah, it's the same behavior. No picture. No picture. Exactly the same. Good. I'm gonna try the second BIOS. So I'm not gonna record while I'm doing the BIOS because it takes a lot of time, and I'm gonna be right back. Okay, so take two. Let's see a different version that the guys from Discord sent me. 10 milliamps, power on. I really don't like the way the consumption stays. Appears to be no change. Does it require more RAM training, or I don't know, I don't think so. So let's get another measurement. So here we have 3.3, that's fine. Here we have 5, good. Here we have 1.2, probably this is the memory. Yeah, fine. And then the CPU, we have very high voltage, 1.6, 1.6, and this is 1.8, probably the PCH. But there's absolutely no change in behavior. I have one more BIOS to test, the one that my friend sent me. We can test that one too and see if there's any difference. Good, so last chance. I've put a BIOS found online by a friend. Let's see if there's any sort of a difference. Pressing the power button, if I can find it. Seems to be roughly the same behavior. Yeah, so absolutely no change. There's no visible damage on the board, water damage or something like that. I have no caps lock. And the fact that the caps lock was actually flashing when we had a memory issue tells me that maybe the original BIOS was not at fault. All the lights are on. The fan is working, then it's adjusting the speed. No signs of life. Caps lock is still dead. Yeah, let's see with this BIOS what happens if I remove the RAM. Yeah, we have no RAM now. And let's see if we get, yeah, so caps lock is beeping. 1, 2, 3, and 2 shorts. Consumption, we can see it kind of similar. Let me try with the other stick on the other port. Let's see now. Yeah, so with this stick of RAM, I get an error on this slot. Let me move it to the other slot. And let's see, do we get the same? We don't get the RAM error anymore on caps lock, so there's probably something wrong with one of the slots. Okay, let's have a look at it. Yeah, let's look at the slots and see under the microscope if there is something weird about them. If I can fit somehow this big laptop here. And there's some dirt here, but that's it. Ah, this pin is loose, this one is loose. Interesting. So this is fine here. The other side. On the other side we're fine, and the other port. The other port is fine. Not seeing any issues here. Let me remove the board. But obviously, I don't think, well, there's absolutely no reason for the board not to work with only one RAM memory. I'm gonna resolder those pins there. Okay, let's try again. On this port we shouldn't have the error anymore. Top cam. Okay, and let's see what's happening now. If I power on the laptop, I get 10 milliamps. Power on. Do we still get the memory beep? We do. Interesting. So we still get the memory error. Why? Or if I add the other. Yeah, we still get the blink code here. That is annoying. Why? Because I soldered that port, that pin. That was haywire. Let me solder them all. Good. I'm not sure if you can see in this area, but I'm almost at the end. Okay, and let's do also this side. Where's my flux? No bridging. Good. And we have one more row. This is heavy as it's a ground plane. That's also very heavy. Good. So now I have all the pads soldered. Okay, let's see. If this doesn't work on this port, I think it should work with this. Can it be that it needs one drum on this port always? I don't know. Let's see. Freaking camera. Well, we don't get the memory error on the caps lock anymore. But this is not working. Yeah, so back to 600 milliamps. Yeah, I would say that there's probably something wrong with the CPU on this board. It's or I don't know, maybe it's over my pay grade. But I really don't know what to do further. We do not have anything unusual. No unusual consumption. Well, unless it is actually stable. No, that part I don't like. Charging works, meaning the charging IC is fine, the EC chip is mostly fine. All the power lines go up. And that's it. We have an abnormal current draw, like static. you know, you don't wanna see this staying put, right? This should go up and down depending on how the processor is working. But nothing, no sign of life. So I'm declaring this one dead. I'm gonna put back the original BIOS just in case somebody wants to play with it. But from my point of view, there's nothing I can do more on it. So there are jobs that eventually fail. This is life. There's nothing more I can do personally about it. So if you have any idea, put a comment in there and let me know. But this is it for now. Thank you very much for watching. Give me a like, subscribe if you didn't already, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now. Well, there has been some development. I've installed everything back in this laptop and I was just about to put it back. I put the original BIOS, put the battery, put everything back, and I said okay, let's start it and see, and look at this, I have caps lock now working. The laptop is on, battery has charged, I have absolutely no image but I have caps lock. How is that possible? Okay, so there is a weird issue here. This display connector was not properly in. That's weird. Okay, let's see. That would be weird to be a problem. Again, with no... Well, I need to hold my hand here. How can I make this camera focus? This is freaking insane. Let me put the instruments on the screen. Okay. So, without the battery I have nothing. Good. Let me put back the battery, because now we're missing the drive and the battery. So, battery is back. Let's see, does it start on battery? Yeah, it starts on battery. I still have no caps. Incredible, I have picture. How is this even possible? So without the battery it doesn't work. With the battery it works. Administrator password or power on password. Okay, that's weird. I don't know the administrator password or power on password. How is this possible? Now tell me. Seriously? Was it just this connector and we work for nothing? Come on, it's coming from a service repair shop. To be honest, I didn't notice the connector, that it was a bit floppy there. Yeah, but this is weird. So let me put it back and test again. I have no administrator password on this one, that BIOS password, and I definitely put back the original BIOS. This is not the proper screw. Okay, let me get back to you. Good, so I have it all back together. Let me connect also the power supply. So I have the power supply, you can see it right here. Yeah, we have some charging current, but I think the battery is almost charged because I left it charging. Yeah, and we have this BIOS password. So now tell me, am I stupid? Or what? So this laptop is not working without the battery. That's obvious. That's one thing. Then, it's really weird because you saw that without the battery we were having like 700, 600 milliamps, 500 something, but we had no caps lock working without the battery. When I put in the battery, I've never tested with the battery, only now at the end. When I've put in the battery, the laptop has started. It's with its original BIOS, because I put the original BIOS back. Then I noticed that that display connector was a bit off, it wasn't plugged in properly. You know that at the beginning of this video I have checked the voltages that were coming to the connector, the 19, 3v3 and so on, and I didn't notice back then, only now it felt a bit weird. Yeah, so I don't know, let's take this as a win. And be glad for this customer. Hopefully it will stick and it will work. Okay, so interesting case. It's been a struggle for a very cheap laptop. It's not an expensive model and I spent some time on it. Give me a like, subscribe if you didn't already, and see you next time. Bye for now.